BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the InuYasha vlogs. We are very close to the end. This time we have one filler episode. Actually, I think we've got only like 2 or 3 filler episodes left, thank God. And this one is thankfully, surprisingly, a decent one to be sure. That is Sango, Kelle, and Kohaku, The Secret Garden. I hope that's the title of this episode. I think it's something like that. All I remember is The Secret Garden, because you guys remember that movie that Warner Brothers made that was like sort of like Anna Green Gable shit? It was kind of the same thing? No? Just me? Alright, well, to the point. Basically, this is actually kind of a follow-up to the Plague Rat storyline, the 2-parter that we experienced a while ago. And in this one, it's kind of interesting because we pick up where we left off, which is the main plot point of that, which is one of the main plot elements of this particular season, and that is the relationship between Sango and her brother Kohaku. We, of course, catch up on him being possessed by Naraku, knowing what the stakes are, the fact that Kohaku knows who he is, and is trying to keep things under wraps. So, as our heroes are kind of just chilling with for lunch out in some field in the feudal era, Kagome has made this nice pot of stew, which I'm like, damn, that looks good. And to the point, Kelle's been kind of missing for a little bit. She's like been gone for a couple hours, and Sango is relatively worried. But Kelle has just been kind of wandering the countryside, and Moroku brings up that they're actually pretty close to where Sango was born, the whole village and everything. So they're pretty close to that area. So it's a little bit sacred for her in that regard. But what happens is that simultaneously, Kagura and Kohaku are obviously off to find Kikyo, because Naraku wants that bitch dead. But to the point, Kohaku and Kagura split up for a brief second, and as Kohaku is obviously getting memories and remembering who he was, he's having flashbacks along with Kelle. They have like these really good psychic kind of flashbacks where you see Kohaku and Sango's children, you see them grow up, you see them have a normal family life before everything fell apart. And this is like, I know in the show prior we've had flashbacks in the past, but this is one where we get to see them legitimately as children, which is interesting. So we get to see that happen, that sort of like their chemistry, we get to catch up on their relationship, which is nice. And as well as a flashback where obviously Kohaku is learning to become a demon slayer, and there's one point where you think, oh, he's pinned down to some demon that's gonna kill him, but no, it's a bear! Just a bear! It's not a demon bear, it doesn't have any features, it's just a bear, and you're like, wow, I forgot this is supposed to be ancient Japan and that there are actually animals in here outside of horses and frogs and birds. There are other creatures like bears and rabbits, and this is fantasy, so of course you have to have your woodland critters. And they're not satanic, as South Park would put it, but Sango basically comes in this flashback to help Kohaku. On top of that, Kelle transforms into her demon cat form and fends the bear off. So it's kind of cool that they can fight not just demons. But afterwards, there's a nice little scene where Kohaku in the flashback had given Sango these really pretty flowers, like a bouquet, which is nice. But then later on, Kohaku is once again, Kelle is attacked by a demon, a set of demons, and who's to save her but Kohaku? So what's great is that Kelle is really the only one who knows that Kohaku is back to normal. And there's this great sort of dynamic duo Avengers moment where they're about to, Kohaku jumps down next to Kelle. Kelle already knows, alright, yeah, you got your shit back, kid. And Kohaku's like, let's go, Kelle. Like, it's like some sort of ninja superpower thing. And it's actually pretty awesome, a really cool fight. Then the two kind of sit down and have a conversation, and Kohaku pretty much confides in Kelle that, yeah, I fucked up. I gotta go kill Naraku, even if it means taking my life. So he's already set his path forward. Meanwhile, Sango actually comes across, goes to find Kelle, and without her weapon, mind you, and comes across Kagura, who says, you know, hey, where's Kikyo? And Sango's like, well, where's Kohaku? And she's like, why do you care? Even if you try to find him, you know, he's Naraku's slave. And honestly, this is breaking Sango. She's trying to run to find him. Comes across the bodies of the demons that are freshly killed, so she knows Kohaku's near. And then, while that happened, Kelle got injured from the fight, and so Kohaku healed her, and then actually took her to this really cool garden that only he and Sango know about. And then Sango finds the garden. Kohaku is not there. Kohaku has since left. In fact, there's a great moment where they almost meet, but it's very Don Bluth, where Kohaku has to hide behind a tree to avoid his sister, and he's so urging to tell her, so urging to let her know, like, that he's okay, but because Naraku can read thoughts and can sense things, and basically using Kohaku as a tracker, he knows, if I tell Sango, I could end up dying. So there's a lot of risks involved, and there's a great moment where Kohaku has a huge, almost a mental breakdown. Like, he cries, and it's very emotional. Both characters have that. But Sango finds Kelle, finds the garden, finds out, sees the heel on Kelle's head, and realizes, oh my god. It almost, in a way, I guess it's a way to imply that Kohaku was trying to tell her sister that he's gonna be okay, that he's gonna be alright, and that he's still conscious, and so that means Sango has that realization of, oh my god, he's okay, and then she cries, and then the final bit of the episode just has nothing but silence but Karawanda's music, and it's honestly really beautiful and emotional. I'll admit, this episode, I was a little iffy going in, because I'm thinking, this is probably just going to be a pointless filler episode, and I'm not going to like it, but actually turned out to be not just a really great emotional piece for these two characters as sort of their final outing before the finale, but also really damn good in the animation. This is some gorgeous animation for a filler episode. Like, the sunset shots, the lighting, the pace of the animation, a lot of it's really well defined here, so kudos to the animation director, whoever it was on this one. This is a spot-on episode, very pretty, very much utilizes the digital animation technology at the time. Even though we do flashback to, like, previous hand-drawn stuff, which is interesting, it doesn't really contrast, but still, it's a nice, solid episode, and I think this is one of the last good filler episodes before we get to the finale, because, oh god, next week, I'm not looking forward to it. It's another Shippo episode. Brace yourself, people. But overall, my thoughts on Sango, Kelle, and Kohaku, The Secret Garden. I really like this one. I think it's a very emotionally hitting episode. If you're a fan of these two characters and this part of the story, this one's for you for sure. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a decent episode. Very beautiful, very emotional, very well made. This is a pretty good 8 out of 10. I would recommend this episode. Even if it is filler and is kind of pointless, it does give you the emotional dynamic that the show resonates. And I was getting that vibe, that anime vibe that I always look forward to, especially over the summer. So there's that. But let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments below, and don't forget to support our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. Join me next week when we take a look at, thankfully, the last Shippo-themed episode. We've done a ton of these. I'm not looking forward to this one. I'm not looking forward to it at all. But it's probably just going to be a quick sit, so at least it'll be short. But then after that, it's on to the finale. So until the next video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, and check this one out. It's really good. Enjoy.